Okay, now let's look at a larger data set. So let's read in accidents. And we are going to use the accidents NN. So this is a data set that contains selected columns from the original data set of accidents. So it's accidents NN is the name. Okay, so read that in. So we have accidents, 999 observations, and 5 variables. And here, whether alcohol involved or not, okay, there are 2 values, 1 and 2, and profile. Then surface condition, there are several, and then vehicle, how many vehicles are involved in the accident. So here, um, we're going to keep the 3 variables, alcohol involved, profile IR, and vehicles involved as is, and we're going to create dummy variables for the surface condition. So if you look at surface condition, we can see, so if you do a table, accidents, surface conditions, okay, so you see what the different values are and how many observations we have in each of them, and we can do that for all the other variables too. So if you do this for that one, then you see the 1 and 2 values, and table for accidents, profile IR, again there are only 2 values, and 0 and 1. The number of vehicles involved is, it is an ordinal kind of variable, so we'll leave it as an interval variable. Okay, a surface condition, there are different surface conditions, and that needs to be, we need to make that into a dummy variable. So what we're going to do first is convert the surface condition into a factor, and the maximum severity involved of the injury involved, 0, 1, and 2, and right now they are coded as 0, 1, and 2, which means it will be treated as a numeric variable. So we need to change that to a factor variable. So if you do a str of accidents, well, actually I needed that to be accidents.df. So let's run it as accidents.df. So accidents.df, accidents.df, accidents.df. So if you run those, then you get the different tables. And then if you do accidents str of that, then you see that the maximum severity is an integer, so it will get treated as a numerical variable, and we will not be doing classification then. So we need to change that to, so max IR should be factored, should be converted into a factor, accidents df max IR, and we need to do the same thing for surface condition, should be as factor Okay, so we run these 2 lines of code. Okay, and then we're going to prepare the data set. So what we want to do is we want to keep alcohol, profile, and vehicle involved, these 3 assays. Okay, that surface condition we want to create. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9, and we want them to be created as dummy variable. And your textbook uses class ind, class.ind, and in that case you have to set up a column name for each of them. So I'm going to use a different command. Okay, so first we need to separate these things out and then put them together, right? So we'll call these vars, and these are the 3 alcohol I, so the alcohol involved, and then profile IR, okay, there is no E needed, so profile IR, ALCHL I, and then VEH, INVL. So these are the 3 variables that we need to have, and then we need to create dummy variables for the surface condition. So, and that is model.matrix. Okay, model.matrix, and we have to specify um, a formula for this, and we want only the surface condition, so that's the only thing. Till if there are more variables for which you want dummy variables, then you would do plus the next variable, plus the next variable, and so on. Okay, and then you have to specify where the data is going to come from. So data equal to accidents df. Okay, now if you run that code, then you see that model matrix creates an intercept column and then one dummy variable for each of the different values, surface condition 2, 3, 4, and 9. And it automatically provides a proper column name, so that makes it easy. So now we want to capture this, and we will and we need this to be a data frame. So let's put that in a data frame, like we'll call it X. Okay, data frame. All right. Okay, now we needed a hyphen there, and now run that. Now X has all of those columns. Now we don't need the first column, which is intercept, so we need to put X. Okay, we need to strip off the first column. So all the rows minus 1. So that means first column is gone. The rest of it will keep. Okay, so now if you look at the X data frame, so those are the columns. So now we are ready to put them together. Okay, so we'll call this accidents dot dummy dot df. Okay, so now we're going to combine what those variables from accident, then the X, and then the target. Okay, so for that we will use the function cbind, column bind. Okay, and we're going to do accidents df all rows and the columns specified by vars. Okay, those three columns. Okay, so that's going to be taken in. Okay, and then we want the X that we have set up, and then we want the target. Okay, now if you run that code, then you get the accidents dummy.df, and you see the three variables and then the dummy variables, and then the last one, the eighth variable, has a name which is accidents.df and max severe IR. So let's go ahead and rename that. So we want the eighth name to be changed. So you say call names, right? Accident dummy.df, okay, and we want the eighth member. And we want that to be max severe IR. Okay, run that. Okay, so now if you look at that data frame, so the name is changed. Alright, so now the original data has been modified the way we want. Okay, next is partitioning the data.